register. Is that going to be in your way now?
How are you, EJ? Good. Is it really Friday for you?
I think there's only two.
Is this one easier?
I think it is. It's an all-in-one. So basically, transactions, once you take it from .loop into Brokermint, you'll be able to see your transaction history. You'll be able to track your income, your sales volume. And then once I approve the documents, I can pay you straight from there, instead of going from .loop to Skyslope to Brokersumo to Chase. Yeah, so it's more of a combined database. So I made it rarely easy, where we just have a listing checklist and a selling checklist. And all the documents can go in there. You don't have to take it from listing to transaction. And so I've kind of made it easy and not had so many checklists for you all to choose from. So hopefully it'll be pretty simple and won't be any issues.
Yeah, on Amazon, so I need to replace all my mouse and all my chargers.
Okay. I'm putting in the chat. Feel free to ask any questions. Please type any questions in the chat and we'll reach out to you with the answers after the training is completed. That way I can get with you for answers to their questions, and then I can do all the reaching out. That way it doesn't add anything to your plate.
So we're good to go?
We're good to go.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. We're just starting.
Okay, y'all have fun. How are you?
Okay. So has everybody done their Brokermint login? Everybody's got logged in. They've kind of seen the main screen, entered in your credit card information and your account information. Everybody's done that. Okay. That's the start. So basically, why are we moving to Brokermint? Brokersumo is being pretty much bought out, so we're not really going to have access to the features of it. So we had to kind of find another system that was going to be kind of like an all-in-one. So basically what you're going to do is still the same process. Take your documents from .loop, move them into Brokermint, and then basically I will pay and process out of Brokermint instead of having to go into Chase and pay. You'll also be able to see your sales volume. You'll be able to track all your listings, pendings, everything based off of the dashboard in Brokermint. So it's going to be more of an all-in-one type system. So hopefully it's a lot easier. I did a simplified checklist, and basically we have a listing. When you have a listing, and then when you represent the buyer, we have a buyer checklist. I did not do like inputs for land, commercial. I combined it all in one. The way that we've seen it is when you give everybody so many options, it gives more room for mess ups. So we're like, let's just simplify. So basically what I'm going to do today is just go over a listing, and then I'll do a purchase. I'm going to log on as one of the agents, so you all don't see kind of what the admin dashboard looks like, because it's really crazy looking. So basically I'm just going to log on as an agent. If you brought a laptop, you can use it. If not, you can just follow along. If you do make a transaction that you're just playing with, let me know, and then I can cancel it out after the class. So this is your dashboard. It's pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty clean. On the please read, that's just when we started doing the onboarding. That's just how you go in and sign your documents. We are going to add more links here. We're going to have our YouTube channel. You can go in here and book one of the conference rooms here at the office from here. We're probably going to add the lifestyle.online on here, .loop. So we can add all kinds of links to this site. So you all can log into Brokermint, and then you can just click on the link and it'll take you straight to the other programs. So that's kind of a nice feature to have. Helpful links. These are some really good videos that you all can watch on how to create a transaction, how to add documents from .loop. If your credit card gets stolen or compromised or changes, you can always go in here and click on update billing, and it's going to take you to the billing screen. This is how you'll go in and change everything. So there's like a step-by-step guide. You don't have to call the office to do it if you don't want to. You can do it yourself. But if you'd rather call me or somebody from the staff and say, hey, can you just upload this for me? We'll take care of it. But this is just kind of how it's gonna work if you get lost. If there's anything else that we need to add or anything else that you all see as you're going through this, you think, hey, somebody might want to see something different, let us know and we can add links to this. So this is your dashboard. Your pipeline is going to look like this. So once you start adding your transactions in, once they start going pending, once you close them, it's going to show kind of what your running tally is for listings, pendings, how much you close. It kind of gives more of a breakdown for the months. So this will be a really good snapshot of what you've done instead of having to, you can do it in Brokersumo, but it's a little hidden. Brokersumo just has so much to it. So this is just going to be really cut and dry for you. Transactions. So basically when you log in, you're going to see incoming updates. So these are all transactions that you have either started or completed or closed. Don't do anything with those. We're working with Brokermint right now to get those inputs so we don't have to do anything extra with them. Because obviously we're switching from Brokersumo to Brokermint kind of right at the end, right when we're getting to do 1099s for the first year. So we don't want to accept all these transactions if we're doing it on the admin side. So you can just leave those there. But this is kind of what your transaction screen will look like. Buyer offers. This is something that we're not really going to use. You might want to, but you can keep track of all your multiple offers in here. It's kind of the same thing as .loop, but if you like Brokermint, you can go in here and create offers. We are not using any of their forms at this point, at this time, just because the MLS KREP doesn't recognize Brokermint as a .loop type program. So, but you can use this if you want to just kind of keep track of rejected offers and offers that you have. But you're also already doing that in .loop. So this is a great feature once we turn on all the documents to use out of Brokermint. This is your contacts. So basically, you'll see any contact that you've put in here. And as you're going through creating documents and transactions, you'll see that you'll need to enter in your buyer and seller, title company, kind of like you do in Brokersumo right now, or excuse me, in SkySlope. So it's just kind of a quick shot of all your comments on here or your contacts.
We all have the same contacts. Can we delete what's in here?
Yes. Yeah. Company library. This is like your onboarding. This is all of your documents that you've signed. So this is all stuff that as we continue to onboard people, this is kind of a library of all your documents. Your calendar, if you want to use this for any tasks or any reminders, you can use this calendar feature. Notifications. This is where you will go in and turn on what notifications you want. So there's a lot of different notifications you can turn on. I forgot to turn mine off when we started syncing transactions, and I come in one morning, I had over 500 emails that said transaction will be created. I was like, dang it. So you really want to go through here and look at your email notifications and see what you want to be notified of. We did not set any of this for you all because it's your all's email. So if you want to come in here and look at, if a transaction closed, like when I closed it, you get notified. If you want to know when a listing went from pending, just as a reminder, listing expired is always a good one, because I know sometimes people think, oh gosh, my listing expired. So these are all just different tasks that you can go in for your notifications and set those. So you can do that as you're playing around with the system. Your billing, this is where your credit card and your bank account information is stored. So basically, if you need to go in and update your credit card, like I was saying, you could just go into your billing, click on update, and then it's going to take you to the credit card screen and you can update your credit card.
Do you have to put a checking account and a credit card?
Yes. So the reason why we have both, the credit card is for your monthly billing,
Okay.
and then the bank account is for your ACH deposit. So it's two different things. So you can change your bank account information here. Add-ons, we haven't really started playing with a lot of these yet. There's so many different add-ons that we can have, but we're not fully on board yet with all these. We're not doing like commission payout, like e-commissions or anything. Share and earn cash. I'm not really even sure what that is, so we're just gonna skip that. And then your sign out screen. So basically, that's Brokermint on the front end of it. Any questions so far? Okay. So you have a listing, and you need to put it in here. So what you're going to do, you're going to come over to your transaction screen. You're going to click create transaction. You can do a new one, or you can search it off of the MLS. So this is hooked up with the MLS. So if you want to enter the MLS number, you can do it that way. If you want to do a manual entry, you can do it that way. So I'm just going to kind of do a new one. So basically, what you have is traditional sale. A lot of people don't use short sale, Rio, HUDs, auctions. You'll basically use just the traditional sale. That will cover basically anything, single family residence, commercial, lots, land, anything like that. And then basically we've got listing or pending. So again, kind of like with SkySub, once you put something as a listing, we like for you to go in and put it into Brokermint within like 3 days. So you're going to go in and put it in as a listing, which it is, and then you're going to start typing the address. Your listing date, your expiration date. So your acceptance and your closing date, obviously you won't have that yet until it goes under contract, so you can leave that blank. Additional fields, this is anything additional if you want to keep track of your lead source for this. Property type, if you want to select a property type. Any of this information is just optional information. We're not requiring any of this. But if you want to use this just as your own kind of checks and balances, your own kind of checklist, that's fine. So once you put in your information and your address, you're going to go to next. And then this is your commissions. So basically, you're going to be on the listing side. The total gross commission will take care of itself once we close it out. So for the listing side, you'll select lifestyle real estate since that's who you're with. And then you're going to come over here and add your name. We've got everybody in as users. You'll save that. And then basically this is your commission breakdown. So are you getting 2%, 3%, 1.5%? So whatever your commission is, you'll put that here. You're going to say on here that you're getting 100% of that 3%. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? For like people who have teams, like for you and Yuki or you and Angie, basically you would just add another agent to that. So we can put Lori Tolson as a user and save that. So then you'll have your award distribution here. So you would just, whatever your split is, 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. So that's how you would do that with teams. So same thing with you and Yuki, you would just add, the other person. So we'll take that off. Buying side, you're not on the buying side, so you're just doing the listing. So you'll just click next. And then this is where you would add all your contacts. So you would want to add your seller. And if they're not in here, you would just add contact. So we'll just put, and I'm in here as a user. If I wasn't, you could just click create, and then you could just put in their information. So this is, as far as when it says everyone or me only, this is where we're talking about that user. If you want everyone to see it, you could click everyone, or if you want just you, this is where you would click private, because you just want people showing up under your user. So we'll just say private. So then you would just go in here, fill out the information, email address, and then create. That one took me out. All right, so now here is your main screen here. This is all going to be filled in based off what you put in that one checklist item, square footage, description, all that kind of stuff. These are your contacts. It's always going to add you as the transaction owner, just because you're logged into your Brokermint, and then it's going to assign whatever side you are, listing agent. So this is what your contacts are. You can always change those back on the contact screen here where it says users and contacts. You can always change that. So basically now what we're going to do with the transaction is we are going to assign it a checklist. And under the checklist, this is where I was telling you at, you just click add. And then since this is a listing, basically what we've got are Kentucky buyer forms, if it's a rental or lease, or seller forms. So since we're representing the seller, you just click on seller forms, your list date, your closing and acceptance date will be done on the back end when you accept the contract, and you'll click add. And then here are all your documents that are in red that we require. So basically we just copied the checklist from SkySlope. So basically you'll go in and you'll see everything that's here. So if it does not apply to a transaction, so like the condo certificate, if you just click this button, you can put a note in here that says NA on it, and then we'll know just to remove that. Every transaction has an email address. So some of you may have used this in SkySlope. So you can click on add email, copy that, and go into your .loop and add that email as a person under other, and you can email your documents straight from .loop to SkySlope, into Brokermint. So I can, if you want me to show you how to do
Is
that.
that the same way as what we have now?
Yes. So basically the same thing with SkySlope. You could go in, copy that email address, put it in a .loop, and you could just email your documents that way. The only other way to do it is the drag and drop method, which, however you want to do it. So this way is easier because basically what's going to happen is, let me see. Should have had .loop pulled up here. Just sign in here. It's probably going to ask me for little stupid codes. I knew it. Somebody else on this frustrated.
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
I hate that.
I know, even if you check that
Even
every
if
day,
it still does
it.
Yeah.
Gosh, sorry, I'm coming around the corner.
This is the most frustrating thing. All right, so I'm just gonna pick one of the transactions. So basically what I was talking about, when you're in dot loop, you can go to add person and then just put Brokermint admin. Copy that email address and assign it as a role as other and
Yeah.
save it.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
That's
It's,
nice.
yes. So then basically what you can do is you can just select the documents that you want to send, click share, click Brokermint admin, attach it to an email, and then when you share it and done, you can go back over to your Brokermint and you can refresh it. And then when you go to documents unsorted, once it refreshes, those documents show up there. And then basically you just assign it to the checklist item. Yeah. So it cut out a lot of that drag, drop. So SkySlope had that feature. It was a love-hate relationship. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But with Brokerman, it seems like it's a pretty simple, yes.
When you move them from Outlook with the email, do you still need to click the attach as PDF?
Yes.
Okay.
If you don't click attach as PDF, it just sits out there because Brokermint accepts PDFs as documents. So if you just send it, it doesn't automatically notify that it's a PDF. So you have to click that document. So basically, this is your all of your listing checklist items. So you've got your input sheet, you've got your and some of these we're still working through. So like if this was a residential, the input sheet for lots and land, basically you can just put NA on here. And the reason why we kind of thought about this in two ways. It's like, yes, you may have to put an NA on some things, but to avoid having multiple checklists for all these different properties, we thought, let's just do one simple one. And it's easier just put NA on something than trying to pick what checklist. So you've got your input sheet, your right to sell, self-disclosure, agency consent, part A. So we broke this up into part A and B. And the reason why we did that is because part A gets signed when you do the listing. Part B gets signed when you actually go into contract. So you would just put your part A in here. And the good thing about this is, so if you want to upload this, let me see if I have one here. We may not have one. See if we have one. So let me go into and just, this is going to be like, what are you doing in my loops? So we're going to add a document. Let's see. I'm not a member. So let's just do this one. And I'll show you how you can split it. So basically what we're going to do here is once we share that to the loop, save it and share it. So I'm just going to send it to Brokermint. So within Brokermint, you can split your documents kind of like we did in SkySlope. So your agency consent, once it's in here, if you click on edit and split, basically you can split it from page 1 to 1, and that's your agency part A, which is here. And then if you go page 2 to 3, you've got your agency part B. And if you split those, basically what it's going to do is when you go back over to your documents, it's going to see that you've uploaded that. So you just basically split it. So basically, once you have your unsorted documents here, you can just go in and start assigning these. Like this is your offer to purchase. This is your co-op agreement, which is in here. And then when you go back to your documents, you'll see that everything's being uploaded. So it's a real simple as far as uploading the documents. We've got once it goes under a listing right now, SkySlope, once it's a listing, you all get it under contract, you have to go in and turn it into a transaction. So this way, you don't have to do that. Basically, all your listing documents and all your selling documents are in one checklist. So we kind of made it easier so you can just go in here and assign your inspection, your ALTA, and your commission check.
When are we supposed to start using this one?
You can go, if you have transactions now, you can go ahead and start using it. Our go live date is November 1st, but if you have transactions and you want to go ahead and start putting them in, you can. So these are all of your documents that you'll need. These are your unsorted. And then your edit button is basically all of your information. If you need to change anything, expiration date, if you need to change the price. This is also what you'll do once it goes from a listing and it goes to pending, you just switch it to pending. And then under your pending, it's going to ask, okay, who is the buying side? You'll just put existing, and then you'll start typing in, say if it's Keller Williams, and you'll just have to create a new one. You could put the agent's first name. And create that. Confirm it. So basically, all of your stuff now is in here with the documents that you need to upload for the pending stuff.
And we have a question.
Mhm.
In SkySlope right now, you have something about the buyer agreement form.
Yes,
When I have the listing, that populated.
yes.
And so they don't want to release that to me, buyer's agent.
Right. So it's kind of the same thing here. We have the buyer representation agreement here.
Uh-huh.
So if that doesn't apply, which usually what people do, they go in there and they put NA or, represent seller only. You can do that, the same thing here.
Okay. And then I talked about this at the last meeting. There's Sotheby's does not sign off on the compensation agreement form, so I had to create an addendum.
Because it's in the contract, or is it just?
No, they have to, that's a whole different
Okay.
story, but they use the legacy and they're missing a bunch of stuff. But
Okay.
since they don't have to do that, where do I put a comment do I change an addendum to say compensation addendum?
Yeah, you can put in here under other documentation.
Got it. Okay.
You can always put that in there and then just put a note in there.
Okay,
So under other listing disclosures, you can always just put a note in here. Or even on that document, if they don't want to put it in there, say the cooperation agreement, if you want to put a note in there, you can put it here as well. And just,
as long as it's in there.
yeah, as long as it's in there, yeah. And you just click on the comments and just put it in there, and then it sends a note to me. Yeah. So basically these are all your documents. You can email your documents, you can drop them and drag. Does all this make sense? Is it pretty clear? Does it seem pretty easy?
Can you just remind me where you got that link?
The email?
Yeah, the ET
Yep,
email.
over here where it says add via email,
Okay.
just click that,
Uh-huh.
here's your
Okay,
email, and you
it's
can
right
just
there.
copy it.
Okay.
and then you just go into dot loop and then just create a person and just name it Brokermint admin. Yeah. Much easier than having to drag and drop documents. If a listing falls through, then basically we've got a release agreement down here. So you would just need to upload a copy of the release agreement. And then if you want to send a note that says, fell through or something, then I'll get notified and then I'll go in. And basically what we'll do is kind of like with SkySlope, I would just go in and recreate it after I approve the release, and then we would just put it back on as an active listing. Makes sense. Here's your listing terminated. If the listing, terminated for any reason. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, it doesn't seem like it has a lot of the options that SkySlope did, which is not a bad thing. So basically, this will keep track of your transactions. When you're on your dashboard, you'll see your recent transactions. And then basically for the same thing, if you are under contract and you're representing a buyer, it's as simple as going to your transaction, create a new one, and then we're going to do 15. And this one is going to be a pending. It's not our listing. We don't have an expiration date, but here's our acceptance date, and then here's our closing date. Again, you've got all your additional fields if you want to use this for any of your information. And then since we're on the buying side, you'll just select that we are represented by Lifestyle Real Estate, and then the agent. And again, if you have to add another agent as a co-selling agent, you can do that as well. We're going to do 2% of the gross income. We're going to do next. You can add your contact in here for your buyer. And then the lights went out. There we go. What did it do to my transaction? It just took it away. That was not nice. Yes. Put it in percent. Okay, so now here's your buying side. So on the checklist, don't go away. You will have buyer forms, seller forms. So you're going to select buyer. There's your dates. Click add, and then here's all your documents for the buying side. So no more multiple checklists. Assign the checklist to it, and then you can just start going through and either emailing your documents, kind of the same way we did for the listing, or you can do the drag and drop method. Lead-based paint, say if it's not built prior to 78, again, you can just always put an NA on it. If there's a document that is required, so basically anything that shows upload is things that we're saying is required. So say you don't get a copy of the escrow check. All you've got to do is go up here and click exempt, and it's going to ask if I can just do an exemption for you, and then I'll just remove the task. So anything that's required, if it doesn't pertain, kind of like what you're saying, they don't give you certain documents, you can always go, they don't do the co-op, and click exempt, and then I'll just go in and I'll accept it. If there's any other disclosures that you have that you want to put in here, you can use that, any other documents. And then you've got your inspection, your ALTA, and your commission check. If there is a referral, you'll always want to make sure that you attach your referral to any of these documents. You could put your referral in as contacts as well. So you would just go in here, add contact, and then you would just enter your referral information. Again, your pending, this is just your transaction information if you need to change any of this. And then your documents again, these are where all your documents are stored. And then this is where your unsorted documents come in when you email them to you. So, and now you can see that you've got a listing on 115 Pasadena. And actually that one is pending. So then there's your transactions. So that's really about it. I mean, we only did a couple of checklists and tried to simplify it for you all. So if you're going through it and you're starting to put documents in and you see that there's something that maybe we need to put in there or something we need to take out, let us know. We can, modify these. We can, add tasks or take away things. Again, we're all learning the system. So, if there's something that you're seeing that doesn't work for you, then let us know.
So what is that? It's my.brokermint.com?
Yeah, if you just go to brokermint.com and then just click login, it brings you to your login screen.
Or Crystal is my mentor, do I need to add her on anything, or is that something you all take care of on the back?
Yeah, so you'll add her in there as a contact as well. Yes.
Okay.
And there's also on there, under, let me see, where was it? Yeah, you can add her as a contact, and if you will put Crystal Taylor. I have asked them to, I don't know if they've done it yet, to add them, there it is, mentor. I'd asked them to add mentor in there, so you would just add Crystal as a mentor. And that way we'll know when we're going through and processing that there's a mentor in
I
there.
don't have to do anything with like the percentage or anything, just add her as a mentor. And
So basically we have plans that are set up, like if you're under the growth plan, it's automatically going to calculate all that on the back end.
add.
Yeah, so basically what we had to do is set up commission plans for limitless opportunity growth, limitless partner, and then basically on the back end, when I'm processing commissions, it's going to automatically do that. But yes, you definitely want to put your mentor in there.
Thank
I have a quick question.
Okay.
So for team, can both people put papers, like from their side, like me and Ethan, can he do part of it, I can do part of it, or how is it?
Are you asking for the same transaction?
Yeah,
So you're asking if you're like the, kind of like on a team thing, if he is assigned, I'll have to go in and ask that.
because on Sky Slope, I remember
You
only
add him
one
as a
person
code,
could
yeah.
do it unless you give your password to the other person.
Yeah.
So on this, like, just like you could add the mentor there, if you can add Ethan to my thing, so. then
Yeah,
you
so
know.
when you're setting up a transaction, on your, that's what I was showing you, when you go in, and create the transaction, you can, assign contacts to that. So you'll want to add Ethan or Jean or whoever on your
So
team.
each transaction I can do it, one with Ethan, one with
Yes.
Jean, or one just
Yes.
by myself. Okay.
Mhm.
I just created a transaction.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. After creating, can you add? Maybe.
Do what?
After
After-
creating the transaction, because I just created a transaction.
Yeah, you can go back into,
And edit,
yeah.
probably edit it.
Yeah, you can go back into your transaction and click, users and contacts. And
Oh,
click-
users and contact, okay. I get it.
and then add another one.
Okay.
And then you can also, you can email out of this too. If you want to send an email to me or somebody on the transaction, you can use the email feature as well to send them.
So now just dot loop and this Brokermint, no Sky Slope. Okay.
No, Sky Slope and Broker Sumo, we're not going to talk to each other anymore since Broker Sumo was being switched to a different company. So basically, we were left to have to find something that was going to work. So it's going to make it easier on the back end for everybody. You don't see this part of it, but on all of these transactions, once I'm on my admin portal, basically I have a commission tab, and I just go in and I assign all the commissions. And then you'll get statements straight out of Brokermint. Where it used to come from Broker Sumo, it'll come from Brokermint. I say Brokermint, but I know they call it Bold something or another, I think, is, yeah, back office. So if you see back office, Brokermint, it's the same thing. They switch from Brokermint to back office. So if you see something from either one of those, it's legit. It's gonna come from us. And basically what will happen is you all will get a commission disbursement summary. I think, Kim, you all probably got one last week out of the new one. Yeah, for one of your transactions. And basically what it does, it keeps track of your sales volume on the CDA. So it gives you like your year-to-date, your sales volume and all that stuff. So you can kind of keep a running tab of that. So this is where the pipeline is. Since we've created transactions, you'll see that you've got pending transactions. And then once they're closed, they'll drop over to here underneath whatever month it is. So keep that running tally for you.
So Amy, those that use you for, our coordinating,
Mhm.
are you going to transfer what we have now into,
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, so anybody that I do close your file for, I'll handle all of the, moving everything from Sky Slope into Brokermint. Yeah.
So I'm trying to add one and it says, pick which side you represent.
Mhm.
I can't do.
Are you
On my vote.
you're on both, so if we do both, it's just, so you're listing and selling agent? Okay. So we're gonna represent the seller. Actions. And into, so it's just, so what I need. Buyer agent. So if you just go into it, you can assign yourself as listing agent and buyer agent.
Well, it's under this commission thing. And so when I go down here, because I'm trying to split it between, and when I go down here, it says, please select which side you represent.
So did you create the listing first?
Okay. And then I was trying to do like the 50% right here. Or would I, because I added Angie at first.
Okay.
But then I ended up taking her out, but even when I add her.
Stop this real quick. Hey Madison, can you stop the screen? Thank you. Any questions while we're looking at that? Simply,
You know how many classes you're gonna have?
I'll have another one on Monday at, when's my next class? Monday at 11.
I won't be here,
This will also be streaming, and we've also got the training videos that you can do, and then you can always call me and communicate. So